Welcome back. Today we try to add configure environment variable and in a Lambda function. Let's try to go to Lambda and type Lambda. You find Lambda. We click on Lambda. You find the function here. We click on this function. If you can find anything here, you can just create your own function. We have a dedicated videos that talks about how to create a function. Just to check that. When you go to the function, you will see you in the configuration tab, you will look at something we call environment variables. Of course, I have nothing here yet, but we're trying to add or edit a new one. So environment variable in AWS are key value pairs that you can define as part of your Lambda functions configuration. They allow you to pass operational parameters to your function without hard coding them into your function code. This capability is crucial for managing configuration separately from code, which is a best practice in software development. So let's just try to add. I want to add an environment variable. It will be key value pair. So my key and the value will be my value, and I will just save. And since I will find it here, and I could use this environment variable in my function code after that if I needed to use. So the importance of this one, like I can save here the key for connecting with the database. I can save here some important variables that are quite secure in an insecure way. I could save the database password. It's important. It's important for us to use environment variable. And in terms of best practice, like do not store highly sensitive information. Like you can store information that should be quite secure, but not highly sensitive information. Like while environment variables can be encrypted, it's generally recommended not to store highly sensitive information like database credentials, and instead use like AWS Secret Manager or similar services. You can use like for the environment variables like a connection, something like that, but highly sensitive. It's a great idea to use the AWS Secret Manager. The second thing that we can say that you should keep your variable secure. So if using environment variables for sensitive data, ensure that they are encrypted using KMS and limited access to them using IAM policy. Also, you should avoid overloading. So use environment variables just decently and avoid relying on them for excessive configurations data, as this can make management quite complex. So the environment variable in AWS Lambda offers a flexible and secure way to manage configuration data, ensuring that your function could remains clean, secure, and easy to manage. We can talk about, like, there is some things that we can talk about, like the versioning of versioning and allies. Like environment variables can have different values, different versions, and allies of your Lambda functions. This allows to different configuration in different deployment stages. You could also have ease of modification. You can change environment variables in the AWS Lambda console, AWS CLI or AWS SDK without modifying the function code, making updates and configuration more straightforward. Also, you can store some sort of sensitive information, but not highly sensitive information. You can store sensitive information such as database password or API keys in environment variables for enhanced security. It's recommended to encrypt these variables using AWS Key Manager service. But I will highly recommend, if you have a database password, you should store it in AWS Secrets Manager. I highly recommend that. But some people go with environment variable. You can do this as well. Also, it's a great in configuration management. Like use environment variables to manage configuration settings that you want to keep separate from your function code. This is particularly useful for changing behavior across different environment, development, staging, production without changing the code. So that's it for today's video, and I hope you like my content. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss a video, and see you in future problems.